Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about sympathy cards. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Nick. I'm the Bearded Housewife. Thanks for being here. Today we're going to be talking about something maybe a little bit less lighthearted, all about sympathy cards. My husband actually had a very good friend of his. He lost his mother to cancer recently, and because of the pandemic there was no service, and we wanted to send something to them to let them know that we are thinking of them, and if they needed anything to let us know. So I wanted to make this card to send in the mail. It does feature a pop-up sympathy lily. Can't really see it on camera. Oh, maybe a little bit there. Simple and sweet. Let's head over to my blog. I'll show you how to get the file, and then we'll get started on making it. Okay, we are on my blog, thebeardedhousewife.com. You're going to go to the Resource Library tab. And if you don't have access already, you can go to the Get Access tab and fill out the form, and then you'll get the password in an email. But for now, we're going to go to Enter the Library, put in the password, hit enter, and then you're brought to all of the files. We're going to look for Sympathy Lily Card. Click on the blue link, and then it will be downloaded into your computer, and we're ready to go to Design Space. Now we have a new project open in Design Space. We're going to go to Upload, Upload Image, Browse, locate it on your computer, hit Open. You can change the name if you'd like, hit Save, click on the image, and then hit Insert Image, and it will bring it into our Design Space project. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. The file is imported grouped together, so you're going to want to hit Ungroup, and then scroll down to the bottom, click this cut line, and change it to a score line. Highlight that group, and then attach it together. And let's move that out of the way. Scroll back down to the bottom, highlight that cut line, change it to score. Now we're going to change these two layers to draw layers instead of cut layers, because I'm wanting to use the Cricut pen to draw the letters instead of cutting them out of the cardstock. Highlight that whole group and hit attach. Scroll back down, change that to a score line, highlight all three of these text boxes, and we're going to change that to draw. Highlight that group and hit attach. Attaching brings all of the pieces or all the different components together on the layer. Now we're going to go and add the score lines to the embellishments. Change the score line, select the group, and hit attach. Now for the lily, highlight that cut line, score, highlight the group, and hit attach. Now for the bottom part of the lily, I have it as a separate group for all three of the score lines. So highlight that group, change that group to score, then make sure that you have that whole lily highlighted, and hit attach. Alright, we've changed all the score lines now. Get that out of the way. Move the red part of the stamen out. Now it's time to import our print then cut image. So the same thing, we're going to go to Browse, find where the folder was downloaded. This is part of the download from the library. And then I always select complex when it's a print then cut image that looks like this, like a watercolor. hit the little wand button at the top left, and then click Adjust on the upper left hand corner of that white field. Do you see how it changes it? That took away the white background. So see, all that's gone. And make sure that you want to save it as a print and cut file and hit save. Click that and insert. It'll come into our canvas a little big, so you want to make sure that you change the size to 4.16 inches. We're going to drag this over the cut image of the lily, highlight both layers, and hit flatten. If you do not do this part, the machine will actually cut inside of the print and cut image. Hit make it, and there you go. We can see that this is now a print and cut with the registration box, and here are the different layers. You can hit continue, and then you are ready to select your material, which I'm using medium cardstock, and we can load our materials onto our mats and we can start cutting. We're going to need our standard grip mat, our cardstock, the print and cut image, scoring wheel, and black marker. Also the glue to assemble the card. Now let's get cutting. Now we have everything cut and we are ready to assemble. I'm going to start by putting the red circles onto the stamen of the lilies. First, you're going to want to fold the score line. Do this part carefully because the stamens can be a little fragile. You don't want to go fast. Once you have a good fold started, you can use your scraper and really press that down. Open it up and then fold down on the stamens. Go ahead and fold the score line on the upper part of the lily as well. Use that scraper again. The scraper is always such a good thing to press down really well. Open the top part of the lily up and you're going to want to fold the two tabs backward. Now I'm going to glue the red portion of the stamen onto the lily. Alright, set that aside. Now let's work on the inner card layer. First, go ahead and fold that along the score line. I always fold in both directions just to make sure that it's folded nice and flat. And I always use my scraper. There we go. Be very careful when it's time to go along the score line of the greenery. There's only a few score lines, but it does help with the alignment and for the folding of the card. Once you have that all folded, add some glue and glue it to the inside of the card. Line up the score line of the leaf. You can have this go in any way that you really want because the stems on the leaves are thin enough where those bottom two portions, if you kind of move it around a little bit, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Fold the card just to make sure that it folds well, and press with the scraper. There. Now while we let that dry, let's go back to the lily. Do you see those two tabs? When you push down on the stamen, it kind of looks like the back of Dracula's cape. I know that sounds weird, but those two spots on either side of the stamen, that's where you want to put the glue. Now grab the top layer of the lily and place that over those tabs that you glued. Press good. Fold along those score lines to make sure that everything folds nicely. Might have to move the stamen just a little bit to get everything to line up. Press down a little bit. There we go. Now flip it over and put glue on the back side of those tabs. And place on the inner card. Line up the fold with the score line and the fold line of the inner card. Do you see? Right around there. And fold to press that in place. Again, I always take my scraper. Gently though, you don't want to break any of the paper. And there we go. Let's set that aside. I'm going to put a little weight on it just to add a little pressure. That's actually my transfer tape tube. Alright, now for the outer card layer. Fold along the score line. Press with our scraper. And now we're ready to attach our print and cut image. Now you could use some foam squares to add a little bit more dimension, but I am just going to use my art glitter glue. I'm just dotting it all around and filling in the center a little bit. And I'm going to line up the bottom of the lily with the letter I in the word with. Press that down good. Alright, that looks good. Open it up. And now we're ready to adhere the inner layer and the outer layer of the card. I always do one side at a time. So just apply it along the edge. My glue is running out a little bit, that's why I'm doing so many passes. Whoops. Line up the fold lines. There we go. And close the outer card layer. Press a little bit. And repeat with the other side. Press down on both sides just to make sure that the glue spreads out evenly. And the card is done. Now you can add any personal notes you'd like below the text or leave it as is. Beautiful. Aren't they really, really pretty? I love how they turned out. I wish that it wasn't such a somber occasion to send this, but I hope that it brightens their day just a little bit to let them know that we're thinking of them during this trying time. My husband and I both lost our mothers, so we know how that feels. Even as you get older, it's still, losing your mom really just sucks. Cancer is a bitch. I hope that you liked this tutorial. If you did, make sure that you hit like and subscribe to my channel so you know every time that I make a new video. Head on over to my blog, thebeardedhousewife.com. I have lots of craft tutorials and some free stuff in the resource library, so make sure that you check it out. Until next time, guys, see you later. Bye.